Hello soulmate, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial video, we're going to be teaching you guys how to cut and sew this beautiful gathered Milkmaid dress that you're seeing on your screen. If this is what you're interested in watching, please keep on watching and let's get started. This is going to be the part 1 of this video, of this tutorial, which is going to be the pattern drafting and the cutting. So let's dive right into the business of the day. I'm going ahead to draw out all my vertical lines, my shoulder line, my chest line, my nipple, my underbust, my waistline, and the back line. So to get started, I'm going to be taking my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. Then I'm going to be taking my neck width, which is 3 inches. Then on the shoulder point, I'm going to be coming down by 0.75 for my shoulder slope. Then I'm going to take my shoulder measurement, which is 0.75, also on my chest line. So now I'm using my ruler to connect the 2 points together. This is going to serve as our armhole line. So now I'm going to take my round bust measurement divided by 4. I'm using my calculator to do that. Then I'm going to mark it on my pattern paper, as you can see. Now I'm going to divide the line, this straight line I draw, by 2, and I'll mark it, and then I'll go in from that point by 0.5. Then I'm going to be using my curve ruler to join all the 3 points together to form my armhole curve. I do this all the time on my channel. If you are subscribed to my channel, you know I do this all the time. If you watch my video, this is how I draw out my armhole. And the next we're going to be doing now, we're going to be taking our nipple to nipple, which is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. And I'm also going to be taking it on the bust line and also on the waistline. Then I'll use my ruler to connect it. Then I'm going to be taking half an inch on both sides for my dart. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is that we're going to be taking our round bust measurement by 4. We'll mark it, and then we're going to also be taking our round waist measurement divided by 4. We'll mark it, and then we're going to be replacing our darts, and then we're going to be adding 2 inches for our stitching allowance on the waistline, and then also on the bust line we're also going to be adding 2 inches for our stitching allowance. And then we use our curve ruler to get our body shape, as you can see. So now to get our back's effects, I'm just going to be taking my hip measurement here divided by 4, and then I'll be adding extra inches to it. So now I'm going to be using my curve ruler to rule it out, as you can see me doing like so. So now after I'll do that, I'm going to be using my curve ruler to draw out a curve or a box, whatever it is that you want to call it. So this is how I want mine to be like. You can also draw yours out. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is that we're going to be drawing our Milkmaid. So on the underbust I went up by 1.5. so I'm going to be using, I went up by 1 inch. You can set to go up by 1.5 or 2 inches, depends on what you want, but I went up by 1 inch for mine, and then later I decided to go up by 1.5. so now I'm going to be using my curve ruler to curve it from the point I went up by to the nipple point on my underbust, and then on the side front I also went up by 1 inch. I'm going to be using my curve ruler to draw out a curve like this. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is we're going to create a new neckline. So on my chest line I'm going to be going up by 2 inches. You can go up by 1.5, you can go up by 2.5, whatever works for you, but I use 2 inches for mine. So I'll be using my ruler to draw out a straight line, as you can see. So this is our new neckline. So now I'm going to cut this out. Just look at the areas I'm cutting, and so that I can know where to cut when you're drafting yours. So before I cut out the cup area, I'm going to use the front pattern to draft my back pattern. So first of all, I brought out my pattern paper. Now I'm going to rule out my zipper allowance, which I'm using 1.5 for my zipper allowance. I'm marking it, and then I'll use my ruler to rule a straight line. So now, in order to avoid going through the stress of drafting the back all over again, so after taking out my zipper allowance on the center front, so I try to place my front pattern paper on top of it and just trace it out on the back pattern, as you can see. So to get a new length line for the back, I came down by 1 inch, and then I'm going to use my curve to draw out our new back neckline. So this is how it's going to be like. And then we're all going to be removing about 1 inch on the neckline area and drawing out the new armhole. So this is the back. So I'm also going to be removing 0.5 inch on the waist area to prevent zipper bulge. So I roll it down and then also roll it upwards, as you can see. So now we're going to use our ruler to cut this out. Please don't forget to cut out the zipper area. I've done that. So this is how it looks like. This is the front piece and the back piece. So now we're going to be cutting out the cup area of the back piece. Before we do that, I decided to remove 1 inch on the neckline of the front. We're doing this in order to avoid, okay, I remove half an inch, but please, if you are doing yours, please remove 1 inch. Half an inch is too small in order to avoid gaping at the back of the dress. So now we're going to cut out the cup so that we can use it for our splash and spread. I've done splash and spread a number of times on this channel. Please, I will not be saying anything. I'm just going to be doing it, so you just look at what I'm doing and then you can do the same. So now for the lower part of the front piece, this is me trying to close my darts so that when I'm sewing I will not have to sew any dart on the front piece, but I'll take my dart on the back piece. So after taking my dart, I realized that there was a little that the lower part of our backs was no longer equal, so I decided to use my masking tape to hold the dart down, and then I brought out another pattern paper to redraw the back. So this is what I'm doing now. So this is how it looked like after I was done. It's not equal now. So this is the lower part of the back, and then we're going to be doing our pattern, our slash and spread now. So just look at what I'm doing. So I'm rolling it out like this. So I gave it a space of 2 inches. So I brought out a fresh pattern paper to spread it on. So I'm putting it one by one, just as I labeled it. So I use 3 inches here for the spreading. Use 3 inches. You can use 3 inches as well. You can use 3.5. You can use 4 inches, whichever works for you. Okay, sorry, I used 3.5 for mine. Yeah, I used 3.5. So the more inches you give, the fuller it will be. You get, so I used 3 inches for mine, 3.5 for mine, sorry. So now I'm going to be using my ruler now to draw out the curve. So this I look after I was done tracing it out. Now I'm going to be adding half an inch all the way around for joining the cup to the under bust. So at the upper part, as you can see, I added 1.5 inch for our drawstring casing. So this is how it is after I was done cutting it out. So next what we're going to be doing now, we're going to be cutting all of these on our actual fabric. Initially I used vintage to cut the front part of this dress, but later I changed my mind and I used crop to cut the front part. So this is how it's going to be like when we're done. This is the end of the part 1, the pattern drafting and the cutting. In our next video we'll be uploading the part 2 of this tutorial, which is the sewing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.